Excalibur was made of plastic. UFOs are Hollywood magic. Clark Kent was on steroids, and the Tooth Fairy has gingivitis. I want my imagination back. I stole a magic lamp, rubbed it 3 times, and the genie told me he had to pawn my wishes to make rent this month. My dreams are gone. Hendrix couldn't see notes without H. Sammy Sosa uses a cork bat. Rakim was possessed by the ghost of Claude McKay. Obi-Wan Kenobi was sleight of hand, and Optimus Prime had a blue book value of around $300. Adulthood stole my imagination. Remember when you believed in Santa Claus and unicorns, beanstalks, and talking frogs? Now my thoughts are credit cards and city smog, traffic jams, and the best route home during rush hour. Disconnection notices in my photo thumbnail to a serial killer's corkboard. No more imagination. It's all reality from here on out. People will lie to your face. That's expected. Ink is the concubine of deception, and we all murder a child at some point. Mine died too young. Milk still fresh on his breath, heavy-hearted and uncombed at the tender age of 9. The Flash lost a step. Captain Kirk owes like $40,000 in back child support on like 14 different planets. Bruce Wayne got his public service cut off in the Batcave, and the X-Men lost funding because Xavier's School for the Gifted CSAP scores were below proficient. I wish I couldn't dream. That night would blanket my slumber, wipe my think black, punch through shut eyelids, memory tears my iris, because there's no such things as samurais, dragon slayers, or fathers. Heroes don't exist. Spider-Man wasn't coming to save me no matter how hard I cried. His powers didn't extend past the anatomy of paper. No heroes, just public school teachers, childhood friends, a single mother, 2 grandparents, aunts, uncles, Miss Ann, who tutored my brother twice a week for a year on hand-eye coordination, Dr. C.J. White, Willa Griggs, Ann Edna Hope Futrell, Quan Glover, and yeah, my mom. Each equipped with their own utility belt, photon torpedo, Hatari Hanzo steel, and Black Panther rifle. Adulthood stole my imagination but gave me perspective. Now all I have is perspective. No dream or delusion but perspective. No gardens of indigo or aspen-kissed gold, but empty picture frames where lovers used to smile. A future with no script, the first razor I used to cut myself. And yeah, no imagination. The pyramids of Giza were built by Halliburton. Mona Lisa never smiled a day in her life, and Victoria Falls runs on the tears of teenage diamond miners. Dougie Fresh lip syncs. And Rapper's Delight is only heard on the same frequencies as dog whistles. I want my imagination back. That cracked glass slipper, white hair with a stopwatch, worn ruby red soles, or a house made of straw. My grandfather's invincibility. The man who encouraged my imagination. Or maybe I just want one of my heroes back.
I guess I'm a poet because I don't have any other way of being able to express myself in a way that I guess that heals, I suppose. So I guess I write because I got a lot of issues. Hip hop to me, it leads to be more playful than slam poetry. If you want to be like really successful in slam poetry, you have to be very, in my opinion, very concise. But in hip hop, you can play around a lot. You can play around more with words. I make it very distinctive. I mean, because I try to make sure that my poetry doesn't sound anything like my hip hop as far as like my sound goes. But a lot of my poems do have like a lot of like hook lines and punch lines, and I try to be as clever as I can as far as like mixing in some elements of of the MC, the idea of just really catching your attention with a really clever line, but I make the distinction because I think that one really doesn't have anything to do with the other as far as I'm concerned. I've been hip hop. I was raised on hip hop, and that's me, and I've only just recently found slam poetry. So I find the distinction to be really clear, actually, as to what I think one or the other is. I think a successful slam poet to me is someone who's able to cut to the point in 3 minutes or less. You know what I mean? In hip-hop, though, hip hop, you can go on and on about a particular subject for God knows how long, and, it still has weight. was on the 2005 Slam team, and we didn't do so good. Where did we rank in 2005, Kenny?
52nd.
52nd in the nation, you know, so it wasn't that great, you know what I mean? It wasn't a good feeling, but I had an absolutely wonderful time at that national competition in Albuquerque. Met a lot of new people, made a lot of new friends, you know, and these are friendships that I hope to have for the rest of my life, because the poets that I met are incredible people, and it's why I do this. It's to hear those different perspectives. But yeah, then 2006, coming back, and basically what happened was before we even started our practices, our team pretty much made a pact that we wanted to at least rank somewhere in the top 12, you know, so that we were going to work really hard all summer, and we were going to make up for coming in 52nd the year before. You know what I mean? So we were just going to put the extra time in, and practices were really long and grueling, and we were all bouncing off all kinds of ideas. And we worked really hard. In 2006, it paid off. But slam is slam, you know. I mean, what's a 10 today could be a 5 tomorrow. It worked out really well for us, and it was a lot of fun. And it was exhilarating being able to get up on stage and read Press Continue that I wrote with Ken Archon, my dear friend. It was phenomenal to be able to read that kind of poem on the final stage. Are you serious? Like, yeah. You know, it was like a nerd's dream come true.